Hello, this is Joy Holt, and you're watching 18 WJTS News. In tonight's stories, DuBois County EMA is now offering a new link to report storm damage. An area man was arrested after he was found to be in possession of a handgun, and we'll take a look at the latest financial report from the Springs Valley Bank and Trust. Reporting flood damage for area residents is now being directed to state agencies. The director of the DuBois County EMA, Tammy Humbart, would like to thank members of the public that have already reported flood damage through the 211 service. However, she would like to make DuBois County residents aware that from this point forward, homeowners, renters, businesses, and private nonprofit organizations that sustained uninsured damage caused by severe storms and flooding that occurred on or near April 26th can be reported online at myoracle.in.gov/hs/damage. A link can be found on the 18WJTS website, along with a link also available on the Indiana Department of Homeland Security's website at dhs.in.gov. In the middle of the page, under Featured Topics, click on Report Damage from Severe Storms and Flooding, April 26th and continuing. Individuals will be asked to provide their name, address, phone number, and type of damage the property sustained. Losses can include structural damage to homes and loss of personal property. Those without internet access are encouraged to contact a friend, family member, or neighbor for assistance. Web access is also available at many libraries, religious institutions, community centers, or other public facilities. Information will be used to help local emergency management agencies and the Indiana Department of Homeland Security with preliminary damage assessments and to determine if federal assistance can be pursued. For questions, you can contact the DuBois County Emergency Management Agency at 812-482-2202. 8 roads still remain closed as a result of the heavy rains the county received almost 2 weeks ago. The latest list released this morning by the DuBois County Highway Department shows only 8 roadways around the county remain closed, with one of those roads being scratched off the list as Old Huntingburg Road between Huntingburg and Jasper. The Old Huntingburg Road between Huntingburg and Jasper was reopened earlier this morning after the DuBois County Highway Department deemed it safe for travel. For a list of county roads that still remain closed, you can visit our website at 18wjts.tv. A Jasper man was placed under arrest yesterday after he was found to be in possession of a handgun without a license to carry. Yesterday afternoon at approximately 2 p.m., Huntingburg police were on patrol looking for a purple-colored Mazda passenger car with a male and female occupant after receiving a report that the two had been involved with a trespassing complaint that occurred in the Lake Helmrich area. DuBois County Sheriff's deputies were also dispatched to assist Pike County authorities with the complaint. Detective Sergeant Christian Gogol with the Huntingburg PD observed the Mazda in the West 1st Street and West 1st Avenue area of Huntingburg, which he then initiated a traffic stop for the car. Further questioning of the driver and passenger on behalf of the Pike County Sheriff's Department on the report of trespassing. During the investigation, the detective identified 48-year-old Daniel Drew of Jasper, the driver of the Mazda, and observed that he had been drinking alcohol. Police had 48-year-old Drew perform field sobriety test, which he failed. Deputy Maneras, along with his K-9 Karma, was called in and completed an outer perimeter search of the vehicle, where Karma signaled on the vehicle. This led police to search the vehicle, where they located a loaded 9mm pistol, which was found under the driver's seat. Drew did not have an Indiana handgun license to carry. He was then taken to the Huntingburg Police Department, where he submitted to a chemical test for intoxication and failed with a BAC of .12. Daniel Drew was charged with operating while intoxicated and carrying a handgun without a license, both Class A misdemeanors. He was taken into custody without incident and lodged into the DuBois County Security Center, where he is being held on a $500 bond. Recent flood damage from the previous week's rainfall was at the top of the agenda for the City Council meeting in Huntingburg last night. Mayor Denny Spinner gave a breakdown on the events. One aspect of the breakdown was the rarity of the storm, which for Huntingburg was marked as a 1,000-year event. The average reoccurrence of precipitation levels was broken down by a chart from the National Weather Service. For example, 1.88 inches of rain over the course of 6 hours is a one-year event, which is fairly typical. For a 1,000-year event, 7 inches of rain over 6 hours, 8 inches of rain over 12 hours, and 9 inches of rainfall over 24 hours. Huntingburg received over 7 inches in 6 hours, over 9 inches in 12 hours, and over 12 inches of rainfall in 24 hours. An examination of lake levels for the Huntingburg City Lake showed a rough estimate of 115 million gallons of water being added in the 24-hour period of time. The storm left a significant amount of damage throughout the city, including the street department building and utility yard, which had the added issue of salt mixing with waters, potentially damaging some of the equipment. Photos of water damage at the city parks and water levels at the water department were shown. During the 2017 rain event, the city saw several organizations assist. The DuBois County Emergency Management and the American Red Cross, the United Way of Southern Indiana, Catholic Charities, and the Southern Baptist Disaster Relief all came to the assistance of the city. The city was assisted in setting up a 211 call center, which saw over 140 calls in the first couple of days. Springs Valley Bank and Trust Corporation, the parent company of Springs Valley Bank and Trust Company, announced unaudited earnings of over $790,000 or $1.38 basic earnings per share for the first quarter of 2017. Over the same period, wholesale funds increased to $43 million from $34 million. Pricing to meet the competition on both sides of the balance sheet, loans and deposits, accounted for the 15 points of margin compression. The company expects margins to stabilize and potentially show improvement throughout the remainder of the year as the Federal Reserve gradually increases interest rates, the company stated. The bank reported total loans at $276 million on March 31st of this year, an increase of $3 million since December 31st, and $26 million increase since the same period last year. President and CEO Jamie Shinnebarger says the bank feels they are off to a respectable start for 2017 despite soft loan growth in the first quarter, with most asset quality indicators remaining fairly stable. He says, irrespective of the uncertainty in the market from the first 100 days of a new administration, the bank's directors, officers, and employees remain committed to sustained financial performance and long-term core franchise value growth. Stay tuned. Your weather outlook and 5-day forecast is coming up next. After that, it's Kirk Gooksell with all your local sports action.